If you have a person in your life that does nothing but give you empty promises, trust and believe that they are having struggles, whether it be spiritually, whether it be mentally, emotionally, psychologically, or even sexually. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I have been counseling women and men who have experienced abuse as well as those who are perpetrators of abuse and other violent crimes. One of the things that I wanted to come on here and talk to you all about tonight was people who make empty promises. You know, people who promise you that they're going to show up for you, they're going to do something for you, but they never deliver. And I'm not talking about a person that's made a one-time promise and, got in an accident or something like that. I'm talking about people who repeatedly promise you things and don't deliver. For example, an example I'll use that many people can resonate with, unfortunately, is that, you know, um, if you may be living with one parent over another, let's just say mom or dad for simplicity's sake, and let's say you're living with your mother most of the time, and your dad promises that he's going to come and pick you up on Saturday, and you and him are going to spend the weekend together, and he doesn't show. And this isn't his first time not showing, but he repeatedly has this pattern of not showing up to pick you up during the custody exchange. When someone does that, they create all of these expectations in relationships with other people. This is not a stable person. And I'm not saying this so that you could feel sorry for them or you could do the extra labor to kind of help them show up for you a little bit more. I'm just saying you need to observe the actions and act accordingly, because typically speaking, when people don't show up for you and they continue to talk and spew these lies, promising that they're going to change or promising that they're going to show up in this way, and they never do, there is usually a challenge there, whether it be financial, whether it be spiritual, sexual, psychological. And in my experience, it's not usually just a short-term a short-term challenge, maybe like a month or two, maybe like they lost their job or something like that. It's usually a lifelong challenge that this person has, or at least a challenge that they have for many, many years. And so that's going to be kind of like they can't really live up to their promises with you, because they're not even living up to the promises that they have with themselves. So I guarantee you, if you delve a little bit deeper, these are people that consistently let themselves down. They don't accomplish goals for themselves. They don't keep themselves accountable. They're wrestling with their own demons, and nobody can help them with that except for themselves. So they have to be the type of person that wants to help themselves and wants to stop the behavior. They see it as a problem and they're intentional about changing the behavior. Otherwise, what you're going to see is you're going to see challenges in relationships, challenges in life. While they may appear to have it together, sometimes, more often than not, there's a lot more going on behind the scenes that they're not consistent with, or things aren't coming to fruition with. And if you use the same situation where I talked about the father not coming to pick you up, some of you might say, well, my dad went out and started another family. Even still, even when they go out and start another family, it's you, in my experience, and some of you may have different experiences, and that's okay. He's not usually Wonder Dad over there either. So usually there's typically some shortcomings going on over there. What you may have is a new person that he's married to is usually picking up more of the slack or propping him up, or he may be having affairs. He may be doing other things that you don't know about, because simply for the fact that he's not making you a priority, and he's not making your relationship with him a priority in his life. And so again, there's other things that you don't get to see. And so my advice to anybody who is dealing with someone like that is to, you can detach yourself lovingly from that person. If you stay in a relationship with them, which, is your right to do, I would not have any expectations. I would not take any gambles. I would not have that person be my emergency backup. I wouldn't rely on them in any capacity. Essentially, I would just you have to get to a place of acceptance where this is who this person is. This is what their challenges are, and I'll just kind of I'll kind of see them when they come in my life, but I'm not going to overly invest or be holding on to hope that something more is going to come out of it. Hope that helps. Thanks so much.